Hey everybody, this is Calvin Waite. I trade crypto for a living. I'm not a registered or licensed financial advisor, planner, or broker, so nothing on this channel should be taken as a recommendation to buy or sell. I also trade all of these things, so I probably have a vested interest in there. But there's plenty of entertainment value and lots of education, so this will be awesome. For those of you who didn't know, my subscription channel is live. So look at the link in the description over at cryptoinfluencers.com and you can see how I make all of my trades and what I do and what I think about everything. This channel is for more hypothetical and looking at trends, and the other one is for actual trading, so you might be interested in that. Well, happy Friday, everybody. We have quite an interesting day showing up here on Bitcoin. And so there's plenty to talk about. Let's go ahead and get going. First of all, wanted to congratulate our winner, Nick. Right up here. Yesterday. There we go, Nick. Congratulations, your $25 of Ethereum are in your wallet. So thanks for being a part of the channel and being here. Don't be afraid to say hi. A few people have been saying hi on here, which is really cool. And so we'll see if we can get a discussion going here just a little bit. So if you are, just make sure that you are signed up on the free channel, cryptoinfluencers.com. If you click here, you can go to chat here and sign up for the $25 giveaway I do every day. And then the pro channel is here. So this is probably an easier way to navigate this site. Okay, Wednesdays we do live streams at 12:30, and that's kind of what we're doing right now. Okay, 12:30 Mountain Time. All right, guys, very interesting day. So I have an alert that I've created on my TradingView that if Bitcoin on the Binance exchange ever does more than 1,000 Bitcoin of volume within a 1-minute time frame, I get an alert and it sends me a little text and it does all of this. Well, these things I haven't been getting too many alerts lately, but the past couple of days I've started these really unusual spikes down. I've been getting these alerts. It's not a number that's 100% baked in or has any special magical qualities. It's just that when volumes are 35, 20 or whatever during the day on the 1-minute chart, and then out of just nowhere you have 1,000 Bitcoin volume in a single minute, something's about to go down. Something's about to happen. Well, last 24 hours ago, when we were having our little conversation here, this was another one of those moments where we were getting all kinds of alerts. So I've got a little dotted line down here, and it's really small, I'm sure, on a phone, but this little dotted line is my 1,000 mark. And it was our second move down that we hit it twice, 2 minutes in a row. And then our final drop was this one that was over 1,000. And so in this case, we had high volumes drop down and the price stuck. So we dropped, things were serious. And you can kind of tell that there's a lot of manipulation and shenanigans going on around, because you can tell that the price dropping here was just getting people all tense. Oh no, if there's another drop, for sure I'm going to get out this time. I'm going to definitely sell this time. And we haven't had another move to the another 1,000 Bitcoin volume spike until this candle right here. Now, it does not take a rocket scientist looking at my chart to see that this was a total fake out. 100% complete, unbelievable fake out. So if you had been watching this and just immediately saw the price drop this fast, and you were an overreacting trader, and you were definitely feeling emotional and everything else, this could have definitely shook you up, because we just barely, if you want to play off of recency bias is when the most the the trend that you've noticed over the past few days or hours or whatever becomes the trend you think will most likely happen. And markets love to do this to you. They'll get you started on thinking that markets are going to go a certain way because they've done it several times, and then they pull a fast one on you. And this is totally that situation. So 1,249 Bitcoin traded in this moment. It ended up being a pretty productive high volume candle. We did have a long tail on it, but it was fairly productive. We went at least over 50%. But then the market didn't believe it. We went up for 4 more candles, kind of consolidated here, and I was really watching this gap. What's the difference between this support and this resistance, and how long will this last? And just waiting to see if there would be a new turn down, because we'd want to see a new low below this if it was going to be real. And waited, and in 2 minutes later we were above our trading. I was like, oh my goodness, this is a major turnaround, because when you get on a smaller time frame, this is the type of action that creates reversal spikes. So I don't think 5-minute really did it justice. But yeah, I mean, the 5-minute, you could tell that something wasn't quite playing out quite right. Let me see if the 15-minute did it better. Okay, yeah, 15-minute. So the 15-minute spiked us down and went full green. So the 15-minute really tells the story. But do you notice something unusual about the very, very, very bottom of this? I wish there was a good way to zoom in on this. Maybe 1 minute. Yes, look at how interesting this is. Look how interesting this is. Giant 1-minute candle, wick all the way to the bottom, and where did we hit? What's this? What's this line? This is amazing. Don't you just love trading? This is just, it never ceases to be fascinating to me. This line is our first resistance. This was our first flip from support and resistance back here. Perfect support on this move, and it was the first time that we touched it as resistance and closed the gap. So this line has been in play for the past 48 hours. We thought maybe it was wrapping up by the time we kind of hit it 3 times as wicks, and then we broke above it. Well, we did have this that just barely happened. So what a fascinating turn of events, how this all plays out. It's the only line I've drawn throughout this entire thing, and it ended up being the absolute bottom. So yeah, this didn't quite get the job done, I guess, and we just decided to finish closing this gap or something. But what a day. I mean, I hate to speak too soon, because our day we're still a little young on our day. What are we at? Yeah, we've got a solid 6 hours left on the trading day. And you hate to see something get too toppy and then have a long top spike. So I don't want to get too enthusiastic about our insane run that we're having. From bottom to top, so far, this is over $1,000 swing to the upside. Pretty remarkable. But let's kind of look, we've been kind of having fun on these lower volumes, just kind of watching for different things. There was an attempt at resistance to support here, but we have a gap here. I mean, this is looking pretty shaky. It is looking pretty shaky. But when we come off of a bottom, we don't have to close gaps. If the market has established a strong bottom and it's ready to move, it'll just move. It doesn't have to be that scientific. But yeah, let's look. Let's take a look. 15, we're just pretty much straight vertical. We've been waiting for a green zone on the 15-minute, and this one was an exit, and then we pulled all the way down, and then we finally re-entered green zone here, and now we're solid. A green zone is going to last, a green zone of this type is going to last quite a while. This is usually at least a half a day on the 15-minute chart. So this is positive, and this is kind of why I was really hesitant to go full bearish at the bottom of this, because once you start exiting the red zone here, you've got a lot of really good structure, and it plays out for quite a while. And we're kind of seeing that happen. Well, let's look at the 1 hour. The 1 hour is the one that I was watching last night, and I think we had talked about it, how we were creating kind of a bull flag here because we were pulling back slowly, and we had just exited the red zone. Everything seemed intact, and it just felt like there was another push. I didn't know what it would look like, but we're starting to see some of that, at least on the 1 hour. This 1 hour candle is going to close in 4 minutes, and it is likely the highest 1 hour candle we've seen since June 10th. Dude, that's like 6 days. This is positive. I would classify this as a positive development. Yeah, very cool. So we've been waiting for an exit of the red zone, and the one that sticks. We want the one that sticks. We've been kind of up and down for quite a bit here, and sometimes you need that selling climax to flush out the rest of the people, and then we take it out for real. So this has been quite an emotional move. I mean, huge drop down and then full reversal. This would have faked out anybody who got scared during that one minute candle spike. Let's look at the 4 hour now. So the 4 hour, we still have 2 4 hours to go before close, but look what we are attempting. In 2 hours, we're going to close this, and as long as we can stay above 25,885, we have an attempt at exiting the red zone on the 4 hour. This is good. This is very good. I know we've been faked out a lot on this 4 hour. Yeah. I mean, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if I'd fully count these yellows because we were showing a little bit more strength here. That's why it turned yellow. But back to it, 7. And this is the 8th attempt to exit the red zone. And it's looking a little bit better. It's looking a little bit better. We might have what we need. I was very interested to see how much resistance we would find at this bottom here, because we really did resist here, and we could have blown up again right here, except for that reversal took us back around. But now this has been blown apart completely, and we are definitely stretching upwards. In 2 hours, the odds of us being above 25.8 are pretty decent. I would say there's a solid chance that we're going to exit the red zone. And will it be a fake out? I can't answer that question definitively without more data, but this is the lowest the 50 has been during the entire time. So when we first exited the red zone, our 50 was sitting at about 27,350. And after all the fake outs and all of the insanity we've gone through, our 50 has dropped down to 25,875. So a difference of around $1,500 or so. So pretty incredible. I mean, this is pretty massive as far as we've got our averages a little bit lower. We've broken through some very important levels here. We're making a pretty solid attempt at exiting this, and we'll see if we can manage to do it. What this is looking like on the daily is still questionable. The jury's still out because we are 100% still in a falling wedge. This is absolutely happening. We had this angle going to start. We had this angle further along as we've developed, and we've gotten steeper and steeper. This is the angle that we're working on the daily now. If we even touch this, at least it would establish that we're not going even steeper, so that would be positive. But we again still have 6 hours to go on this, so we have plenty of resistance. The daily is not a done deal, but do you notice this big fat blue line that's running through this whole chart. This is our weekly 200. Remember how I said last week we lost the 200 and we really need to get above it this week if we're gonna really do what we need to do? Well, I don't know if it's gonna be resistance. You know, do we run up to the 200 and hit it as resistance? I don't know. Do we stop here and reject off of the 20? Because the 20 was big. The 20 and the 50 are huge. But this candle's getting prettier and prettier. This is a lovely low support wick at the bottom of this falling wedge, man. It's looking pretty prime. It's looking pretty good. So this is pretty interesting. You know, I don't want to speak too soon, but I have felt for quite a while that we've overextended our downside leg, and we've now picked up on volatility, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Timing is just about right for us to make an attempt to the upside. We have to see what it looks like. I mean, even if it's a weak move to the upside, we at least need to see what this leg will give us. And we've pulled back long enough that we need to attempt something, even if it's weak. Hopefully it'll be stronger. The news about BlackRock is probably really rattling people. They're like, wait a minute, because you know, I mean, BlackRock isn't, that ETF is not a done deal, but it will, if it is successful, it will be a complete game changer. It will absolutely allow so much liquidity to pour into crypto. It is going to be unreal if it works. And they're not the type that go up to bat and strike out usually. So that's why people are putting a lot of weight into this, and that might just be the catalyst that starts us on our upward trajectory, and we'll see where we end up. But I'm betting that people in the know are starting to reevaluate and wonder, how much exposure should I get before these things come around? Our hour just ended, so let's go back to the 1 hour chart and see where we landed. And it appears that, yeah, we have closed the highest 1 hour candle since for almost a week. This is amazing. This is really, really strong. There is a yeah. Whatever we do, you know, when you end a candle, the closer you end with a short wick, the more powerful. And so this was pretty strong hourly candle. We still have a lot of work to do. This descending wedge here on the weekly, the falling wedge that I drew, it tops out at 26.8. Obviously, this has no structure. We've got a very long, skinny, unstructured candle here, and so we would need a pullback and some things to make this work. But we are now above this level, which, if we can hang out here long enough and do enough consolidation, it might be possible that if in a few hours we do have a pullback, this could potentially be a spot of support. Oh, one more thing that I noticed. I should point this out for sure. Our 200 on the 200 on the 1 hour has been pretty interesting. Before we were kind of chopping through it, and it wasn't really at play. This was the last time that we sort of slipped through it and just kind of let it go. But in the most recent week, we have seen a very specific resistance. This was on June 8th that we specifically resisted on the 200. And then again, June 9th, we had a wick that very cleanly rejected off of the 200. And then to get even more clean, this rejection here was about as textbook as possible, and that was June 13th. So we have made it a habit of resisting on the 200 ever since June 8th, which was 8 days ago, and we haven't touched the 200 until an hour ago. 1 hour ago, we finally had our first close above the 200 in this was our last close above, and that was June 7th. So this is a very specific, it is measurable, it is, obvious. We are looking at a very long-term potential change in momentum. So it's looking pretty. It's just going to depend on how toppy we get. It makes me a little uncomfortable seeing this go straight up like this. I'd rather see a lot more consolidation and things move a lot more patiently. But, at the bottom, when the bottom is really the bottom, whales want to get you off that bottom as fast as possible because they want to capitalize on moving the price so high that retail can't get a chance to get in. They want to move things quickly so that the retail group has to FOMO in at higher prices, and that's what they're after. So they're trying. You'd want to get it off the bottom as quickly as possible, and maybe we're seeing some of that. I'm not sure. We'll see if we do get some more consolidation, but breaking the 20 or breaking the 200 on the 1 hour was a big move. This is definitely something that is has been resistance for us for at least 1 week. And if you kind of back it up at this sort of resistance, I mean, almost all of June has been under the 200, and we're doing a pretty strong breakout right now. So interesting stuff. I'm feeling more optimistic about this potentially being our new change. We may have found just today our swing low on the weekly. Like, this might be our catalyst that this was our low, and that we're going to start moving up and see what the next bull leg looks like. So pretty cool, pretty exciting. I hope everyone's buckled in nice and tight, because this is quite the ride, man. Oh man. Ethereum has just lagged like crazy, and I'm noticing that Ethereum's finally almost up the same percentage as Bitcoin. So it's looking pretty good. This hot stove week that we're working on is looking pretty nice. Let's see what the daily looks like really quick. Yeah, daily just still looks really ugly. This thing has a lot of work before it starts looking pretty again. But I would love to get above this line here. This 17 is the number, man. This is a game changer. If we can get back above this, man, I don't know. Just stepping back. Look at this. Look at the 200 on the daily for Ethereum. That was the cradle that caught our move to the downside, and then we bounced. And now look at how we've reacted again. Almost the same candle, just no tail. Small little candle right on the top of the 200, and now we've got a big move to the other side. I don't know. Maybe this is it. Maybe this is our move. It would not hurt my feelings. Let me just put it that way. Yeah, Bitcoin didn't even get to the 200. So you never know. Do we have one more drop? I have no idea. But in the shorter term time frames, we're seeing a pretty decent shift, and hopefully that carries up into the other time frames as well. Okay, that's all I've got. We'll see where this goes. I mean, it's hard to call something 6 hours away from the daily close, so we'll just take this with a grain of salt, and we'll see how things end up. We'll probably have a lot to talk about. Yeah, I guess we'll probably have to talk Monday, because tomorrow's Saturday, and I don't do any trading or anything on Sunday, so we might be catching you in a couple days. But pretty fun. It's fun to see the market warming up. It'd be really cool to see this be the turnaround that we've been waiting for all this time. So, all right, you guys, we'll let you go. Have an awesome one. Have a great weekend. We'll catch you next week. Thanks for making it to the end of my video. Make sure you keep those trades small. Don't force a trade. Don't get impatient. And if you want to see how all this works, please come over and check me out on the subscription channel at cryptoinfluencers.com. Again, the link is in the description.